Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, guys. Welcome into the Kick-Ass Podcast. Sorry I'm a little bit late today. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay too. Let me see. Okay, I think the volume is good. Let me turn this down over here. Side note, I thought I was gonna have to take little baby Frida to the vet this morning. She has a ear hematoma. She has a little pocket of blood, building up in her ear, the little flap of her ear. It's so sad. It's nothing major. It's just like a little pocket. But I thought I was going to take her to the vet this morning. But the doctor that I want her to see is not in until Monday. So I'll be doing that on Monday. So that will not affect the show anymore today, besides just being a little bit later than usual. So apologies for that. But I still wanted to get on here and talk some shit with you guys and chat about some wrestling. You know what I mean? We have a lot of stuff coming up between. Actually, honestly, I feel like between now and John Cena's retirement, it's packed with wrestling. Let me lower this a little bit. Which is not a bad thing, right? We're here for it. But yeah, so a lot of shit to get into, but I appreciate you guys for popping in when you do. I'm gonna pull up the chat here. I did throw a poll in the chat if you're watching on YouTube as well regarding the main event for Full Gear tonight. Sadly, I'll be working. I roll, so I will not be able to watch live. So I'll watch it when I get home. I really want to watch that. Let me pull it up. WWE has a show going tonight as well. Let me pull that up here. But regarding the poll, just it's simple. Do you think Hangman is gonna retain the title at Full Gear? And it seems like a no-brainer, right? But obviously we'll be getting into that. So I wanted to know, obviously, your guys' opinion. I wanted to see what the majority would be. So if you feel inclined to vote, feel free. If not, don't vote. It's up to you. But let me know your thoughts, obviously, because that's the whole point of us being here, right? Is to collaborate and chat with each other and to throw ideas out there. And guys, I reading some comments and just some stuff, like I learned so much from you guys, so I appreciate all you guys who throw comments on the videos, like when you watch our replay and stuff like that. Even if I fail to respond, which I'm terrible at in all aspects of my life, full disclosure, I appreciate it, guys. I really do. But WWE's, what is it, the CMLL? Because I believe that's tonight, or CMLL. Can you imagine? AAA. Pull it up here. I think it's tonight. Yeah, Lucha Libre AAA from Mexico City. 10:15 p.m. Oh damn, it's later than I thought. Okay. So I'll be able to turn that on as I'm leaving. But that looks like a really dope card too. So I want to watch that as well. So depending on my schedule for tomorrow, I might want to pop on and do a stream with you guys as well. Probably be sometime like like normal, like midday, early afternoon ish. Just depending on, like I said, the schedule. Have some stuff going on. Yeah, just some stuff going on, like everyone does, right? But I want to try to get better at sitting down and chatting with you guys and covering shit, because that's the whole point. And honestly, like this stuff, like it's such an escape. You know what I mean? Like that's how. Or some people ask why, like why you still watch wrestling and stuff like that, and especially when it gets kind of shitty and kind of, I don't want to say boring, but like it's been this year, you know what I mean? Where it has kind of not been cooking on all cylinders, you know what I mean? For one of those expressions early on. But for me, it's just like one of those constants in my life, you know what I mean? Like, regardless if the product has been hot or if it's been just in the shits, you know what I mean? It's always just been there, even during the pandemic. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, like wrestling has just always kind of been an outlet, you know what I mean? Just kind of like escape from the real world. So that's why, another reason why I like sitting here and chatting with you guys. But I definitely want to see if I can do a review show. And the point of that was I want to try this different streaming platform tomorrow. So if I am able to do that show, be on the lookout for that, because I want to see if I can try that new platform. I think it's called like Riverside. I want to try that one, and I want you guys to let me know what you think. while it'll kind of be like a test run, right? So yeah, that's kind of some updates and just some thoughts going on. Hope you guys can hear me. I didn't even check as I've been sitting here blabbering away. Hope you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you guys can. Oh, okay. Okay, Smith, you said you can hear me. I was just scrolling through. What's up, guys? Let me scroll up. What up, Cameron? Mohammed? What up? What up? What up, Sean? It's good to see you back in here, my friend. I was just thinking about you last night, man. I hadn't seen you. I mean, like I said, I'm sure you've been busy, but I hope everything's good with you, man. Hope everything's good with you and your family. And everyone coming up this week is going to be one of those. I don't know if they say this is like the busiest travel of the year, like time frame to travel, or like one of the like, I don't say dangerous, but just be careful out there, guys. The road is a crazy place. Whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, it's still just fucking crazy out there. So just be safe out there. But what up, K Smith? Oh, you're going to the show Wednesday in Nashville. Oh shit, dude. Hell yeah, Sean. Wednesday, so I'm assuming that's AEW, right? Let me pull up. I'm assuming that's an AEW show, right, Sean? And not just like some like live WWE show? Yeah, it is a AAA. Muhammad, you are correct. I don't know why I always mix up AAA and CMLL between, because obviously one works with both of the major companies. Quick question for you guys. This has kind of been like floating around on Twitter. It picked up a little bit more steam past couple days. I'm gonna fix these blinds really quick. Do you view TNA as the number 2 brand? First off, yes or no? And as in comparison to WWE, right? Obviously WWE is number 1. Do you view TNA as the number 2 brand promotion, or do you think AEW is the number 2 promotion? We'll say, and as like the number 2 like North American wrestling promotion period, like the biggest one and the most name, like just the biggest promotion period. Like if you're talking wrestling and someone asks you like, like what are the biggest companies out there? Or like what companies are out there? You're like, oh, well, like of course, you got WWE out there. Then the close runner up is, or like the closest second, like I don't want to say, because people view like second as like a bad thing, right? But like you have to have second place. Like second place, like everyone who comes after first is almost more important than the number 1 spot, because they're, in my opinion, or they should be making that competition, should be making that number 1 spot and whoever's holding that position that much better, right? Because that competition should be fueling you, right? But there's been some debate rather going around lately that TNA is closer to WWE than AEW is, and in my opinion, I don't think so. And it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like a weird topic, right? So, but I brought it up. But I think the whole like idea behind it was the fact that the ratings, like the ratings have been falling a little bit for AEW, and TNA has been picking up some momentum and picking up some viewership, doing better in ticket sales, things like that. The booking though, dude, like I vented last week, is questionable still, but that's across the board with a lot of companies. Well, with all the main companies right now, nothing's perfect, but I do think TNA is closing the gap and TNA is picking up momentum, right? But I don't think they have jumped ahead of AEW. You know what I mean? But I think if TNA is able to get a prominent distribution for their television, then man, like on cable, like if it's like I've seen AMC be thrown out there, and potentially that if I've seen like the possibility that if they do land with AMC, that they could be airing on Wednesdays. And can you imagine if if AEW and TNA end up going head to head? That'd be wild. I don't think though that TNA would beat AEW in the viewership, at least right off the bat. I think their first show would be strong, but to be fair, I don't know what their viewership used to be or currently is on Access, I believe it is. But yeah, I think it's pretty interesting though, just that we're even having that discussion. But God, it's just so funny to see how passionate some people get on Twitter. All right, so Sean, you think Hangman will retain? K Smith says Hangman will retain as well. I think I saw. Just sworn I saw someone else put their thought in there as well. But yeah, Chief Heyman. Okay, cool. So obviously we'll be getting to that. I'm gonna hold off until we get there. K Smith, you said AEW is number 2. Yeah, dude, that's my thoughts as well. I think a lot of people just like to hate on AEW and ignore some facts. You know what I mean? But again, to be fair, yes, the viewership has dropped. Viewership has dropped across the board, right? And especially with the new way that they track the ratings and all that shit. And to me, man, it's just like whatever, you know. But and you guys know me, so you know how I feel about it. I feel like it's very interesting in a lot of ways, but to me, it doesn't dictate my enjoyment of the show one way or another. But it is necessary because you, as a business, you need something to measure and to gauge the success of every outlet that you have, and that should be what the ratings are. You know, it shouldn't just be like, oh, this show is better than this one. Yes, obviously, because that's the whole point, you know, with ads and you know, like the whole purchasing of TV rights and shit like that, right? Like it makes total sense. But also too, to see how the competition within yourself is, to see how you were doing this year compared to last year, this month compared to last month, what the factors were, and things like that. So yeah, man, I don't know. I saw that as I was scrolling through a little bit this morning. And I was just like, it kind of cracks me up. But I saw a comment in here. Yeah, Muhammad, you said Chris Jericho and Britt Baker return tonight at Full Gear. That'd be wild, dude. That would be wild. Tony Khan did say that um because he was asked about Chris Jericho in the media call, and he did say, of course, that, you know, pretty much like the standard, like he, you know, he hopes that Chris will be back, and pretty much the same thing for Britt, you know, like he hopes that they'll be back, and you know, looks forward to working with them, type shit. But I did listen to. Did y'all hear that interview with him and Ariel Helwani? I did. I don't think I finished it now that I think about it. Or yeah, I think I did actually. I think I did end up finishing it. I was fucking shocked, first of all, that he even had a sit down interview with Ariel, because we all know the shit that they went through. What was it, like last year? And didn't Ariel call Tony like a snowman or some shit? Like fucking Christ, Jesus, oh man. But yeah. All right, K Smith, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you popping in. Take care. Have a good day. But yeah, I was just shocked that they uh agreed to do an interview, first of all, together, and it went pretty well. And again, to be fair, there was, I think it was like maybe 30-ish or like maybe something like that minutes into the interview, and Ariel was like, okay, you know, like I appreciate, you know, we gotta wrap it up. And Tony Khan was like, no, you know, I'm enjoying my time. We can extend it. Pretty similar to what happened the first time. And then it kind of went downhill, and Ariel said what he said. But I was just surprised. So if you haven't listened to that, you know, it's not anything groundbreaking, but Tony did answer some of the questions a little bit more in depth than he normally does, or actually just answered them, period. A little bit more than just like, oh, you know, that's a great question, but I can't answer it type thing. He actually gave a little bit more info. So it was interesting. So check that out if you feel ever so inclined. But he did, obviously, because they kind of had like almost like a little lightning round type shit. And Britt Baker was brought up, Chris Jericho, Adam Cole was brought up as well. And man, it was sad when he brought up Adam Cole. He said essentially, like, you know, like he excuse me, Adam is a, you know, like he adores Adam, and he feels like pretty much like terrible that he's in the situation that he's in. But that he was happy that he told him, you know, that he wasn't feeling right and wasn't able to compete. And that if Adam Cole is in the position and is ready and wants to wrestle again, then he'll listen to him, and they'll talk about it, and they'll, kind of go from there. Which obviously is not a good sign, right? But as a like as a human, for Adam Cole, I don't know his real name, but for the real dude, you know what I mean, not the wrestling character, I feel for him, man, and I just hope that he takes his health first, you know what I mean? Because wrestling, he could do so much, right? I know it's not the same as being in the ring, but if it's a matter of having like that itch and needing to be involved still in the business, which I'm sure, you know what I mean? Like obviously I'm not involved in it, right? But just being a fan and needing to get my fix watching it, right? Like I can only imagine being in the product, and especially at different levels that he has been in, and having that in your blood, and like going through all the years and everything that he's gone through, like, and I can't imagine just having to walk away and having it taken away from you in an aspect like that. So I'm sure he would be able to do something backstage. Like I think he would be a fucking fantastic like agent or producer, whatever you want to label them. I just he kind of gives off that vibe, like just the mind for the business, right? And everyone, like, the common thing that you hear about Adam Cole is he's just like a sweetheart, and he's such a nice guy, and that's why it hurts even more for people, right? Like he's in the situation that he's in. So he, in hearing that, he's someone that you need in your locker room, right? Like if he's not able to wrestle, or even if it's just for now, like whether it's for the next month, the next year, the next 2 years, whatever. If he's at the point where he at least wants to be involved and he's able to be backstage, I would 110% create a position if I needed to make sure he was able to be backstage and contribute and do whatever road and whatever path that he felt like he could best contribute in. So it was just sad to hear that it's sounding like the in-ring return for Adam Cole may not be something that we see in definitely the near future, but maybe in the future at all. Um, and it does again sound like it was a concussion related thing, which is just it's terrible, man, because it's one of those things too. Because I've had like 4 or 5 concussions that we know of for sure. So, and like the first one that I had, it was back when I was in high school, and it prevented me from playing any sports for my 10th grade year and halfway through my 11th grade year in high school. And that was fucking just crushing for me, because I was one of those kids where sports got me through a lot and sports got me through school. Like that is what motivated me to get passing grades, to really like do the best that I can with my schoolwork, is because I wanted to play sports, right? Like I loved basketball, like that was my shit. So when that happened to me and not being able to play for the next year and a half ish, I was just crushed, And so I can only imagine being in his position doing this for what was it, like 15, 20 years or some shit at this point, and not being able to go back and do what you love and still and seeing it, you know what I mean? And just, man, like I can't even imagine. So, and on the flip side though, I don't know if, because I would imagine too, like maybe it would be hard. Maybe it's like that breakup where like you could be friends eventually in the future, but like right now it's still too soon, and like it hurts too much to kind of like be in it but not all the way in it, you know what I mean? So maybe it's one of those things, but I just hope whatever he's, like whatever it ends up being or whatever it is, like he's good, you know what I mean? Like mentally, like cuz that shit's crushing a dude. So, and again being so young and being in a new company, and man, it's just, like just thinking about from when he debuted and just all the shit that he's been going through since he's been in AEW. It's just sad, dude. And not to put a damper on the stream, right? But yeah, it's just when I heard it, Tony speaking that way, and honestly, like when Ariel had brought it up, because I mentioned, it was kind of like a lightning round type thing. He was just kind of going through names. When he got to Adam Cole, man, like Tony paused for a second, and that's when you're like, oh, okay. So yeah, so maybe if you don't even want to watch the full interview, maybe, I don't know what the timestamp was. It was later on in the interview though, but maybe check that out, because we all sit here. Well, I mean, I hope I don't talk shit. I just try to be fair and give my opinion. But a lot of people sit there and talk shit, and I'll say maybe me, whatever. We give constructive criticism, right? I feel like that's what I do. You guys let me know if I'm unfair, but we all sit here and call shit out. You know what I mean? We'll just leave it at that. But I don't know if anyone can say that Tony Khan is an asshole, right? Like, I don't know if that's ever been like a thing. And if it is, again, let me know. But the general consensus, and that's actually been one of the complaints that people have, is Tony Khan is too nice. And he's like almost like the pushover type. Like, he's too nice where he doesn't want to say no type shit. Um, but obviously I don't know. I had a very, very brief, like maybe 30-second interaction, 45-second interaction with him. And he was so nice. You know what I mean? Took a picture. It was dope. And this was years ago at this point, maybe 2 years ago. When they were still doing like the AEW dark tapings. Um, but yeah, just seeing like videos and hearing interviews and just hearing what other wrestlers have said, he seems like a really down to earth, well, as much as a billionaire can be, right? A down to earth, like nice dude. So I feel like he would definitely figure out a way to get Adam Cole into the picture behind the scenes, right? But yeah, it just sucks, dude. It's just one of those things where you hate to see it, but part of me doesn't feel like this is it for Adam Cole, but I don't. The brain, dude, is just something that you don't want to mess with. So yeah. Again, not to kind of put a damper on it, but Adam Cole is important, dude, and it's we gotta talk about it. And 1 second. There we go. Yeah, Mohammed, I hope so too. But at the he said, I really hope that Adam Cole doesn't end up like Biggie. Yeah, dude, but Biggie, he's actually a very good example, like something like very, very serious happening, obviously life changing, career altering, right? But making the best out of a bad situation. And that's kind of what I was saying with Adam Cole. Biggie has figured out different things to do. Biggie kind of does like the more not commentator, but like the pre-show and like stuff like that for WWE. Kind of like a hype man. Which I mean, fucking perfect role for him for that, right? But it still sucks, you know what I mean? And it took Biggie some time to obviously to go and that was different as well, right? Because it was a neck injury, physically you're more limited. But yeah, like I think you don't want to see it, but you almost do want to see it. Like if he can't wrestle, right? You don't want to force someone to wrestle. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Um, so if they can't be in the ring, you want to see them doing the next best thing, and that's be involved in a and what like because that's what I was saying earlier with like Adam Cole's brain for the business, right? And his mind for the business, like he can contribute so much. And I think even just being a commentator, even being like a Biggie, you said like, and I know you mean just in like where he can't wrestle again. But if he can, like I hope he does kind of take the Biggie route and be a hype man and be involved at some point in some capacity. When he's ready to and when he's able to. So yeah. What up, Fernando? What up, dude? Going through I see you catching up here, Fernando. Man, Fernando, see. Oh my god, you wild, bro. You wild. All right, and Fernando, you said Bobby Lashley should be next for Hangman for the world title. Okay, dude. Okay, and you said Hangman retains easy. All right, I'm going to throw my vote in there in the chat. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, what up? I appreciate you. If you're watching on Twitter, X, whatever, I appreciate you guys. But if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to throw a vote in the chat. In the poll, if you think Hangman is going to retain or if you think he's going to lose. So with that being said, let's dive into the card itself. We do have like 4 matches on the pre-show, which is again just something else. But these money matches, dude, like someone needs to go and do the math on how much money Tony Khan has given out, quote unquote given out total in all these money matches that we've had the past few months now. Just insane. Because we have $1 million match tonight and on the main card, and then we have a $200,000 match on the pre-show. So we'll start with that one. It's Max Caster and Anthony Bowens facing off against the Bang Bang Gang, Big Bill and Brian Keith, and the Outrunners. Bro. And again, for 200,000, I would love to see the Outrunners win, because I just think, and that's what kills me with these money matches, though. It's like, okay, if you're gonna do it, fucking have the winner just brag and do like video clips and show them like splurging on like dumb shit. Just do something, man. Tony Khan's a fucking billionaire, right? Like, I'm sure his dad has beautiful cars. I'm sure he has beautiful cars, a nice luxury area. Like, you can, like have them prop up, like, like probably not drive a car, but like lean up against the car, act like they just bought it, like acting like they just bought like a mansion or some shit. I mean, obviously not with 200K, right? But with like the $1 million match, right? Like, just do something fun with it. Just tape like little vignettes or whatever you want to do with them. I don't know. Just do something fun. Because like, if not, then why are we doing all these money matches? Like, it's just okay. This one's for 200,000, but we don't actually see the physical money. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we've actually seen it. We don't see any follow up afterwards. Yeah, so it just kind of bums me out. Because I feel like you would have so much potential, right? So that's what I was saying. Like, I would love, because I feel like the Outrunners would just be, out obnoxious is the word I was looking for with the 200K. Like, all of the vintage stuff, right? And in their mindset, like 200K in their mindset with being stuck in what the 80s, right? Like, that's probably what, close to like $1 million or some shit. Like, they can have so much fun with that shit. So I hope the Outrunners win. I doubt that they're going to. I feel like it's going to be Max Caster and Anthony Bowens picking up the victory here. But yeah, I hope they excuse me. I hope they end up doing something fun with the money. I don't think they will, that we see, but I don't think we'll get it. Unfortunately, because AEW hates me, we have Boom and Doom, the fucking doom of my life. Big Boom AJ is back, and he's teaming with QT Marshall. Of course, Big Justice is there. Facing off against Roppongi Vice, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. Just kill me now. Yeah, I will be not watching that. Why are we still fucking around with the Costco guys, dude? Like, are they still big on TikTok? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And again, like, I'm not gonna go off on them. It's fine, it's whatever. But and to be fair, like big Boom, whatever, like, he does a very good job. Like, we have seen worse. I don't want to call him a celebrity, right? But we've seen worse, I guess, inclusions from the outside world than him. So I will give him props and credit where credit is due. I'm just kind of over it. I've been over it. So I will not be watching this part. So yeah, there's that. But shout out to you guys who watch it, and no shame. And to be fair, I forget what pre-show it was for, or pre-show it was on, but the reaction that Big Boom got in the match against QT was fantastic. It was like one of the best reactions for that night, and I think they're from Newark, New Jersey, right? So it makes a little bit more sense. But I don't know. I don't know if the hype and the excitement is still there. Maybe, and again, I am not hip. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that 6'7" shit means. I don't know. I am very uncool, right? So they could be like the hottest shit coming, and I have no idea. So I could just be in a little kayak over here by myself. So I will admit to that. Moving on, we have El Sky Team facing off against the Don Callis family, which is Kazuchika Okada, Takeshita, and Hichisaro. And that is for the CMLL World Trios Championships. I'm so overloaded with titles, and we haven't even gotten to the main card between them and WWE. It's just like, God, I feel like, how many titles do we have total? It's too much. But I don't think the Callis family is going to win here. I think there's going to be some tension between the trio, right? And they are going to cost themselves the match here, because I just don't see them putting the CMLL Trios Championships on Okada, Takeshita, and Hechicero. I could be wrong. I hope not. And again, I could be wrong. It would just be like I don't know. It could be something fun, and it could turn into something fun. So I will be open to being wrong, but I don't see them picking up the victory there. And then the last on the pre-show, we have Hook and Eddie Kingston. It kills me seeing him on the pre-show, dude. Facing off against the Workhorsemen, which... Really? This is what we're doing with Eddie? No disrespect. Which, again, is Anthony Henry and JD Drake, because they're a fine tag team, right? I think we know who's going to pick up the victory there. Moving on to the main card, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches on the on the main card itself. I'm actually surprised they didn't make it an even 10 on the main card. But starting off, we have Chris Statlander, our AEW Women's World Champion, defending against Mercedes Moné. This may be, I don't know, like, not an unpopular pick, but I think Chris Statlander is going to retain. And again, to be fair, like, I haven't listened to actually any other preview shows yet. I wanted to kind of come in unjaded and then go back and listen to some after this. But I don't think that Moné is going to pick up the victory here. I think it would do so much more harm than good to Statlander if Mercedes wins here, because they've already fought, twice now, right? And Mercedes has won both times. So I don't think you really want the vibe to be that Statlander can't beat Mercedes, especially when it counts the most, right? And Mercedes now has the TBS and the main women's championship. I just think that would be too much. And I think Mercedes can stand picking up or sustaining a clean loss here. Like, I think if you're going to put yourself in this position and you're going to make this match, then be bold enough to pull the trigger and make it to where you create another star out of it, right? I'm not expecting Statlander to be in the next phase of the division, because I don't know. Excuse me. I think I'm a little higher on Statlander than some people, but there's just something not missing, but just something that like needs to be like flipped. And then I think she'll click with the broader audience even more. I just don't think right now taking the title off of her would be a good look. So I'm going Statlander retains here, but I know the temptation is there, because it'll be number 14 for Mercedes to have all the gold. But then it's like, okay, like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, you would have Mercedes having both of your women's championships. Like, how, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that would make it more intriguing to see how they have that play out and how they have her defend both. Obviously not at the same time, but I don't know. Like, what would you, like, it makes you think back of like when Kurt Angle was the Intercontinental and the European champion, right? Was that WrestleMania 16 when it was a triple threat match when he defended the championship or championships against Jericho, Benoit, and obviously he was in the match as well. And the first fall, I think, was for the Intercontinental Championship, and then the second fall was for the European Championship, or maybe vice versa, whatever. But I think Benoit ended up picking up the first, I think it was the IC Championship for the first one. He ended up picking up the first fall, and then Jericho ended up picking up the second one. So Kurt Angle left WrestleMania with no titles. And God, I think it was Bob Backlund, I think, who was fucking around with Kurt Angle at the time. I'd have to go back and think. It was WrestleMania 16. I'm pretty certain. I had to go back and confirm that. But you could do something like that with Mercedes, right? You can have a situation like that if you're just so pressed on having her have all the titles. But I don't know, man. Something about it just I think it would be different too if it was just these two titles, right? Like if she was going into this match just having the TBS championship and then she beats Statlander and then she's just a dual champion. I think that'd be a little different, but I don't know. Like I feel like it might do more harm than good just with the overall consensus of the fans, right? If Mercedes wins that championship as well. I don't know. Like to me, it doesn't bother me as much as it bothers a lot of people. To me, I think it's kind of comical. I don't know. Like I I don't know what good it's doing for these independent promotions, right? Like I'm sure if I was the owner of an independent wrestling promotion, right, and Mercedes was my champion, like that'd be pretty cool, right? Like I'd be able, like she's walking around with my title, but it's just blending in with 13 other titles now. Um so I don't know. I don't know, but shit, like again, like any of us, I feel like we'd be lying if we were like, okay, like if we were the owner of XYZ wrestling promotion, right? And we had the opportunity to hire Mercedes and to have her be one of our, like, to have her win our women's championship, you wouldn't do it? Or, like, what, like, really? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So that's why I'm just like, you can't be but so upset about it. But I do see where some people are saying it's like, almost like laughable, like I said, but in a sense where it's like, making a mockery of the titles and making a mockery of herself. I don't necessarily I don't know. I don't necessarily feel like she's making a mockery out of herself. I think it is a bit much. Like how many titles are like what's the end game, right? Like how many titles are like we going for? Is there an end game in mind or I don't know. Like what are we building to? So that's kind of like what I'm waiting to see, and then I'll look back on it and kind of like go from there and judge from there. But I don't know. To me, it just kind of cracks me up seeing how pissed off some people get. So that's why I'm like, part of me is like, fuck it, put the title on her, but nah, because I feel like I said, it would do too much harm to Chris. So officially, my pick, Statlander is retaining here. But what else, I appreciate you, my friend, for the super chat, man. You said can't make this today, but have a good stream and enjoy Full Gear. I appreciate you popping in, man, and I appreciate all you guys who aren't able to stay, but you pop in and you say hey and you pop out. As you guys know, he's a goat on this channel. He does so much for me in the channel. So I love you, Sai, man. You do great work here, and you're good people, man. I appreciate you. And Sean coming in with a super chat. Man, you guys are so great to me. I appreciate you, my friend. Did you change your handle, Sean? 8078? You say either way they go in this match isn't good. And I hope you're still referring to the Chris Statlander and Mercedes Renee one. I think so, because I've been rambling for a bit. But yeah, man, like I are you, because I feel like if I'm correct if I'm wrong, Sean, but you aren't hot on Statlander, like you like character wise and stuff like that. So I get it, dude. But that's what I was saying. Like I feel like they just need to at least stick with her, and because fuck it, you decided to pull the trigger and make her the champion and take the title off of Toni Storm. So make something out of it. Like see the path, right, and see it through. And if it ends up being shit, then it ends up being shit. Or if it doesn't end up being as big or as hot as you thought it was going to be, okay, cool, but at least you tried it and you know. So that's why I'm like, it's going to do more harm to her than good if you just pull the plug on it now. Because I don't think her run has been so terrible where they're just like, fuck, we got to take the title off of her and put it on Mercedes. But again, to each their own. And if that's what you think, Sean, then like, again, I could see it because that's what a lot of people say from what I've seen on like some post shows, that Statlander just doesn't connect with them. And I get it. But to me, she's just one of those characters, like I said earlier, man, where it's just like, I feel like there's just something there that I'm just waiting to be like, yes, and go from there, But But I appreciate your super chat, dude. I really do. It helps out here so much. So I appreciate you, my friend. Especially with like the subscriptions and stuff. Because like I was saying, tomorrow I really want to try out Riverside. So yeah, we'll see. So thank you, Sion, thank you all. I appreciate you guys. Okay, Sean, yeah, you followed it up saying Stat isn't good enough to be your main champion, and Mercedes doesn't need another belt. And that's kind of what I was saying about taking it off of Tony Storm, man, and that Fatal 4-Way. I still don't think that was the right call. Not saying eventually, and this is maybe where we differ, Sean. Not saying eventually you couldn't go the path with Statlander winning, but I just think that, and to be fair, I am one of those people that I'm like, fuck, like, be spontaneous, like, do something unpredictable in the match, right? Like, outcome wise. And they did in that Fatal 4-Way. I did not expect Statlander to come out with the victory, right? And to come out as a champion. So I give them props for that, and I still do. I don't think it was the right decision. I, again, would have kept the title on Tony just because of the reign that Tony Storm had up to that point and the star that she is. You know, granted, like, again, she's one of those characters where I don't know if it's like you love her or you hate her, but she was the star of that division in my opinion. Like, she was the biggest. I don't know. I guess you could say Mercedes is the biggest name, but she was the, if not 1A, 1B, right, in that division. But so if you wanted to take the title off of her, I don't know. I just feel like it should have been in like a one-on-one setting and a little bit more of a story built up specifically for that. But they don't pull the trigger now, so make the most out of it. But yeah, dude. Oh yeah, exactly what I was saying. Well, for Mercedes and Tony, but yeah, you said Mercedes and Tony, they could have built the first match so much and they ruined it. But yeah, dude, I agree with you there. But yeah, so moving on, we have Brodito, our AEW Tag Team Champions, defending against FTR. I don't know, man. I have predicted, and again, don't come to me for predictions to actually listen to my predictions and predict like put money based on my predictions because you will lose that money. I have predicted Brodito to lose the titles for a couple months now, and they have not. So, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like this is it, right? But if not, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be it because I feel like we're almost at the point where Adam Copeland is ready to come back. Or maybe not, because maybe I don't know. I feel like they put FTR or they put this specific match together to have FTR win and then go from there. But even if, for instance, like Adam, and it's just so weird calling him Adam Copeland still. I can't get used to it. But even if Copeland isn't ready to come back, they can do FTR and the Young Bucks, right? Like, not, I mean, we've seen that dozens of, or not dozens, but it feels like dozens, right? It feels like Randy Orton and Cena almost. But we've seen FTR and Bucks, what, I think like 4 or 5 times now. So they can do that in the meantime with the story that the Bucks have kind of been going on as well. So you can do that to fill some time. But I just think FTR is going to pick up the victory here. Again, I have been wrong each month now. So when it comes to Brodito, so we'll see. But yeah, FTR I think is picking up the victory here. Let's see. Sean, we have the same brain, dude. You said I just really hope that they are not on track to do FTR versus the Young Bucks for the 18th time. Yeah, dude. I feel like we're getting that, bro. Only a matter of time. But next up we have Kenny Omega, who made his return. Teaming up with Jurassic Express. I don't know. Let me finish the match itself. So Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express teaming up to face the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. And this is the $1 million match. It just still, like, whenever I think of Jack Perry and Omega together, I immediately think of the cake. And I don't know why it just bothers me so much that they're like on the same page now. And I don't know, like, I think I take it too seriously. I really do. Um, but I don't know, man. Like, if I'm Omega, fuck you guys. Like, you storyline wise, damn near cost me my career. You made fun of me on my birthday. Like, literally, like, not only did you make fun of me on my birthday, but you insinuated that you were throwing my guts on my birthday cake. Like, fuck you, man. Like, really? So, I don't know. The last thing I would want to be doing is tagging up with you and teaming with you. Especially when I don't necessarily need to. But that's just me. And Omega is a much more forgiving person than I am. But I don't know, man. Like, this $1 million match. Again, like, I think it'd be fun to see like what Omega would do with $1 million, or not the full million, right? Like a portion of the $1 million. But I don't expect to get any type of videos or anything fun out of this unless the Young Bucks win. I do see, out of any of the potential scenarios, I do think potentially maybe the Young Bucks could have fun and make some clips because they already have money, right? So I'm sure they have some luxury items that they can have fun with. Um, so I'm going with the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander winning here, but I just hope out of both of these matches, the money matches, as I call them, I just want some fucking fallout from it. I just want some just obnoxious splurging of the money. Something. Something. Like, or I just want to see the cash. Like, just do something, dude. Because, like, how, again, like I said earlier, like, how much money total has Tony Khan given out? And we haven't done anything with it. Like, come on, bro. Like, I think a couple people have talked about it, right? But, like, I want to see some shit. So we'll see. Yeah, Sean. And yeah, even though it's fake, but that's the whole. Obviously, like obviously we know, right? Like they're not really getting $1 million, but that's the whole point, right? Like I want to see something. Like even fucking remember when Vince McMahon was giving out like stupid amounts of money like years ago? What was like the $1 million giveaways or whatever he was doing on Raw? Like something like that. Like you have like just a box of money. I don't remember if that was fake money or not, but it doesn't matter. You got the visual of the money. So you were able to connect it, right? And maybe it's just me, maybe I'm too much of a visual person, but I don't know. I just think it'd be fun. It doesn't. You don't even need to see the top of it. You can just have like how the Young Bucks have like their buck money, their Bucks money. I don't know. With their faces on it. Just make stacks of those. You don't even have to get a camera shot of the top view or underneath. Just have stacks of them in a clear case, and you just see that visual. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just do something, bro. You're a fucking billionaire, dude. Like I know you have access to money, bro. Come on. You got that shit in your closet. He probably has like $1 million just sitting in like a shoebox somewhere. Like, come on, bro. Pull that shit out. Have fun with it, dude. Like, fucking have fun. Like, man, this is why I can never win the lottery, become like a millionaire or like a billionaire or any shit like that. Because if I was Tony Khan, dude, I would be just doing just the most ridiculous shit. You know what I mean? Like, I would just stupid shit with this. Like I would definitely need to have like a handler to be like, all right, like if I was in Tony Khan's position, I would need like a no man, be someone to be like, relax, fucking relax. You know what I mean? Like I would be spending money on every pay-per-view would have a theme. We would be going back to those themes where like every pay-per-view, like Judgment Day, No Way Out, King of the Ring. Again, if you've listened to me before, King of the Ring 2001 with that big ass chair. I love that shit. We would be doing that shit every fucking pay-per-view we had. Man, we would be having matches, or not matches, but like shows on the beach and shit, and just doing like the most random shit. I don't know. It's a good thing. It's a good thing I don't have that kind of money in a wrestling company. Carrying on. But speaking of obnoxious shit, we have the Casino Gauntlet match for the inaugural AEW National Championship. I think we've only had the Hurt Syndicate and Ricochet announced as the entrants so far for the National Championship. To me, I'm kind of torn between Bobby Lashley and Ricochet winning, which are the obvious picks. Nothing groundbreaking there. But I think they could also pull a fast one on us and have someone who obviously the majority of people are announced, but someone that we aren't necessarily thinking of, or maybe a return. But I don't know, man. For the national championship, it's just so weird too, because it's like a national championship, but like the whole idea it's gonna be defended like internationally. Like I don't, shit gives me a headache. I don't know. I just feel like Ricochet is the dude for it, but they have not been building him up like statistic wise to win the championship. So I don't know, man. But I feel like he's like a good foil for that. Like I guess the word of the day is obnoxious. But just this new version of him, right? Is just obnoxious, right? Like he's just so annoying. The aha thing, it's ridiculous. So I think he'd be the perfect person for for that championship. Um, So yeah, I'm just gonna go with Ricochet until we get a full idea of who is actually in the match, which I'm not expecting to get like a rundown right because it's obviously similar to the Rumble. But yeah, like I don't know. Let me see, because they don't have. I was expecting at least maybe like a few more people to be announced, but don't see that. So yeah. Yeah, dude. His promo was excuse me, way too long. I almost choked on my coffee there. Way too long. Yeah, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. It's just a weird build. That's why I'm like, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to be him because you just haven't really been positioning him to take the title there. But I don't know who else you would put on. And like, I don't see Bobby Lashley winning the national championship. Not right now. Um, gosh, I almost choked on my coffee. I did a little bit, but and I think I saw a comment earlier where you want to save Lashley for something a little bit bigger. So we'll get to that here in a second. Excuse me, but again, shout out to everyone watching over there on Twitter. I appreciate you guys. Everyone popping in here on YouTube and on Twitch. Appreciate that. If you haven't already, feel free to like, subscribe, all that good shit. I appreciate it. But moving on, we have Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe for the 50th time. This is a no disqualification match for the TNT Championship. Excuse me. If Briscoe loses, he will be forced to join the Don Callis family. I hope he does lose because I think that would be just fucking hilarious. And just, again, you talk about like weekly segments, weekly like clips that you can insert. Briscoe with the Don Callis family, just sign me up for that. So I hope we get that. Hold on. All right. I hope we get that. Because that'd just be fucking entertaining, right? But in the same token, too, like how many times you gonna have Briscoe and Fletcher face off and have Briscoe lose, especially being in a no DQ match. But same token, too, you have 80 people in the Don Callis family, so I'm sure one of them will probably interfere at some point and can help Fletcher retain, and it's perfectly legal, right? So I could see Fletcher retaining here, and cause I don't want Fletcher to lose the title. Like, not that he's really been doing too much with it, but I just don't think. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I don't see the title going on Briscoe. So not even like the Don, but I just feel like it would be more entertaining, right? Because if Briscoe wins the TNT Championship, I mean, who is he really going to face off against? I feel like you have more babyface options for Fletcher than you do heel opponents for Briscoe. So we'll see. And I don't want it to be like a quick victory or like a quick reign either. Like that, what would be the point? So I think Fletcher's going to retain here. Yeah, Sean. Yeah. Yeah, again, he needs Fletcher needs to win and they need to be done with Briscoe. But next up we have excuse me, Babes of Wrath. Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron facing off against Julia Hart and Sky Blue, the Sisters of Sin, facing off against the Timeless Love Bombs, which of course is Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa, and Megan Bain and Marina Shafir. The winning team chooses the stipulation for their semifinal match in the inaugural women's tag team championship tournament. For this one, you always see the bad guys winning, right? So I'm actually gonna go Sisters of Sin here. I think they have kind of been on the Sky Blue and Julia Hart bandwagon recently, and especially coming out of Blood and Guts. So I think the heel team, the bad guys, are going to pick up another victory here. Again, you could go Megan Bain and Marina here as well. And I could see that. I could see you maybe wanting to put some love on Shafir. So I could see that, but excuse me, man, sorry. I just and you guys know how much I love Willow. I love me some Willow Nightingale, so I would love to see her and Harley pick up the victory, but I just don't see it, man. I see it either coming down to Sisters of Sin or Megan Bain and Shafir. So I think officially I'm gonna go probably like Sky Blue picking up the victory for her team, but I don't know. I think this one is kind of up in the air though. Man, that coffee did a number on me. Sorry. Try not to be too nasty in the mic, but next up we have Darby Allin facing off against Pac. This match I think is gonna be potentially match of the night. I'm just very much looking forward to this match. I the visual of Pac is still I don't know, man. Like I don't know. It's kind of like Juice Robinson. You're just so used to seeing them in one visual, right? And looking one way, and then when they come back and the hair is all cut, singlet, and it's just like I can't that's not the Pac that I know, right? But in another hand too though, like I kind of can see this new version of Pac being one that I don't know, just is more take charge and eventually ends up becoming the leader of the Death Riders. I think we are on a path to getting Moxley out of the Death Riders. And I again, if you guys know me, I just want to be done with this whole thing to begin with. And we should have been done at what, All In, but here we are. I just think they need to move on from Allen, Mox, and the Death Riders and that just combination. I think this match is going to be the starting point for that. And we'll see. We'll see because we do have a Moxley match coming up, which is Moxley and Kyle O'Reilly in a no holds barred match, which again, it has story, right? Like the whole battle had been between Kyle O'Reilly and Moxley. Like Mox had cheated like he hit the referee at one point, right? To get out of the match, but then he was the one who ended up submitting in Blood and Guts. So that makes sense, right, for their one-on-one match and it being no holds bar. But I think between this match and the Allen and Pac match, something is going to happen with the Death Riders and Moxley. And if not, then what are we doing? But I think between those matches, something is going to happen between the group and there's going to be either some dissension, a breakup, or something there. So we'll see. But I think Pac is going to beat Darby. I think I could see Darby Allin. So I guess it depends though, right? If they're going to move forward with Pac being like the leader of the Death Riders or wanting us to start taking Pac a little bit more seriously and view him in like a higher light, then I could see them having Pac pick up the victory here. You can have someone like attack Darby, like like cheat to win type shit. Especially since it's just a regular singles match, as far as I know, still. So I could definitely see Pac picking up the victory here. And then, like I said, some shit happening between Mox and O'Reilly. But I don't know if you want to have Moxley lose again here, unless that's going to be the story, right? Unless, like, for instance, Death Riders come in and cost Moxley the match or what have you. I don't know, man. Like, a lot of people are hot on O'Reilly, and no disrespect, he's good. I just don't see, I just don't connect with him that much. So I guess like, I guess you can have him beat Moxley, but like, what are we really doing with O'Reilly after that? So that would be my only question with that. But I think the story isn't maybe even necessarily focused on O'Reilly winning. It's Moxley losing. So I think that's going to be what happens here. I think Mox is going to take another loss, and that's going to be the story going forward, is that Moxley just can't get out of this losing streak now. So I think that's going to play into whatever happens between him and the Death Riders going forward. So we will see. Sean, you said, help me, why is this happening? Yeah, dude. Yeah. You said I hate being so negative. Yeah, dude, I feel you. I feel you, dude. And that's how that's what I was saying earlier. Like, I hate, like, coming on here and like, constructive criticism, right? But we gotta speak our truth. We have to speak our opinions, right? Like, that's the whole point. If not, then what are we sitting here doing? And if you put on a product, and if you have any type of product that you're either selling or distributing to the consumers are going to have an opinion, right? So that's just with everything in life. So that's what we're sitting here doing. You said no build, but Pac has to win, but I don't want that either. They haven't built O'Reilly for that spot, and that's what I was saying, dude. Yeah, and he's in the conglomeration. Yeah, but again, to be fair, like I was saying, like, I don't think it's necessarily the story of O'Reilly winning. It's going to be of Moxley losing, and what that loss and the agony of defeat and what that means to Moxley, his status as the leader of the Death Riders, and just what that means for that whole faction and that whole story going forward. So I think that's going to be kind of where we're at. What up, Maria? What up? What up? It's good to see you, girl. Good to see you. But moving on to our main event, we have Hangman Adam Page defending the championship against Samoa Joe. And pretty much everyone is saying Hangman is going to retain. And I think that is the popular choice as well. Yep, we're still at 80% with Hangman winning, 20% Hangman losing and not retaining at Full Gear. Again, don't come me for any money predictions, but I think that with how heavy-handed it is going in that Joe's going to lose, I wouldn't be so surprised to see Joe win. If you remember, what was it, 2 years ago now? At World's End, we had Samoa Joe and MJF. I feel like MJF is on his way back, man. I feel like you could almost go the MJF route in both stories, right? But it does depend on how you want MJF to come back as well. I think MJF is the best when he's as a bad guy. But if they want MJF to come back and be a good guy for whatever reason, you can have Joe defeat Hangman here, MJF return and want to seek his revenge on Joe for what Joe did to him last year before last. So I could see that happening because I never expected Joe to win, right? And to become the AEW champion when he did. So something about Joe, man, like, you can never count him out, especially with the heel turn, right? Because if you turn Joe and you turn him just to turn him and he ends up losing to Hangman, then what was really the point of it? And like, what does Joe do going forward? Yeah, you have the trios title or whatever, but, and not even saying that you necessarily have to do anything substantial with Joe, but I don't know, man. I just feel like something is just kind of like sticking out to me there. But I think the more likely decision is going to have Hangman retaining. And then, like I said before, you can easily go forward with the MJF and Hangman story. But I just think there's something with Joe, dude. I think there's something about having Joe as the champion that could shake shit up. So And I don't think we're in the position to take the title off of Hangman, but man, if I wanted to be that person and throw money on a potential high payout bet, I would put money on Joe. But again, I don't make any recommendations on that because I would cost you your money. So what do I think they're gonna do? I think Hangman is going to retain. But fuck it. If it was me, I might pull the trigger and have Joe. You know what I mean? Just to shake shit up. But whenever I say that, it does not end up happening. So I could very easily, like I said, see Hangman retaining. But I'm gonna go with Joe. I'm gonna go with Joe winning the title here and go from there. But again, I don't see it happening because what are you gonna do with Hangman after that? It's not like we have Swerve there or a ready-made feud really for Hangman, and I don't see you taking a title off of Hangman and really doing nothing with him. So I mean, I do think that Hangman is going to retain though, for real. But I wouldn't be so surprised to see a shock victory from Joe. So those are my predictions. That's where I'm at with Full Gear. Yeah. See what you guys have to say. Yeah, Shawnee said it wouldn't shock me, but Joe winning wouldn't make a ton of sense. They better tell a dang good story, which I don't trust. And there was no point. That's the problem. There was no point. That's the problem. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I agree with you. The whole factor and like it's not even necessarily the victory, it's what happens after the victory. So that's my concern with if they did pull the trigger on Joe, because I still think you have more story going forward with Paige. So it makes more sense to keep the title on Paige, but it would not shock me to see Joe come out with the victory here. And I just the more and more people are saying, "Oh, it's just a given that Hangman is retaining," the more I'm like, man, that's what we said before, and Joe won. So we will see. But guys, that is the card. We will be wrapping up here momentarily. But like I said, I appreciate you guys so much for joining me here. Again, a little bit on delay. Had take care of some stuff with my babies, with my little doggies. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I thank everyone for popping in who couldn't stick around. I appreciate everyone watching on replay. Sean and Sai for the super chats. I appreciate that very much. Like I said, AAA does have a show that they're airing on YouTube tonight at 10:15. That looks pretty stacked as well. So I'm going to try to check that out as well at some point between today and tomorrow. And maybe do a stream at some point tomorrow. We will see depending on the schedule. Because like I said, I definitely want to try that new platform out as well and to see what we can do for the channel going forward. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you all so much for joining. Thank you so much. Like I said, be on the lookout for anything, maybe sometime tomorrow. But with Thanksgiving being next week, I will have a little bit of like a modified schedule as well. So maybe we'll fit in another stream during the week as well. But no watch along. I will be working tonight, sadly, so that's why I had to jump off here to go get ready for that shit. So yeah, but I definitely will be doing a watch along for John Cena's final match, which I know is still way out. But I was looking at that, those tickets and everything, and it just I don't know, man. I don't know about being there, so definitely want to do some type of watch along for that. So TBD and stay tuned for that. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for everyone watching on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys. Until next time, my friends, stay safe out there. Enjoy Full Gear tonight and just enjoy wrestling, period. Stay safe.